How you doing, YouTube? Matt with Massive Beer Reviews back with yet another review. And it is Russian Imperial Stout time in the form of North Coast Brewing's Old Rasputin. Now, if you've watched any of our reviews before, especially, particularly our Russian Imperial Stout reviews, you probably think I poo-poo on Old Rasputin quite a bit, kind of because I do. I actually haven't had this in many, many years. Reason why? Had it a couple times, and it was just a little bit too hop forward for me. Now, if my memory serves me correctly, that should be the case here. But if not, we'll see, and I could be wrong, and everything I said about it could be wrong, so it's an interesting review to do because we're going to find out if my memory serves me correctly. As far as what it says on the bottle, it says, North Coast Brewing, Old Rasputin, brewed in the traditional style of the 18th century English brewers who were supplied the Russian court of Catherine the Great. Old Rasputin develops a cult following wherever it goes. It's rich, intense brew with a big, complex flavors and warming finish. Old Rasputin, the Russian Imperial Stout, bunch of Russian I cannot read, North Coast Brewing Company. Over here, government warning stuff. Over there, alcohol 9% by volume, North Coast Brewing Company, yada, yada, yada. That's it. Label-wise, it's cool. I dig it. You know, I like all of North Coast labels. I really like North Coast as a brewery. You know, their whole quote-unquote regular line is quite nice for being small beers. Brother Theolonis is a very nice Belgian-style offering. If you've watched any of my reviews, I wax poetic about North Coast Old Stock and their North Coast Old Stock barrel Cellar Reserve. Their barrel-aged beers is in my greatest of all times list. So yeah, I love them as a brewery, and it's kind of weird that I've avoided one reviewing it and avoid two having this for quite a while. Like I said earlier, to me, there's super hop-forward Russian Imperial Stouts, and then there's ones that are high in IBU but are better balanced, aren't too hop-forward. So I'm more for the latter, not for the earlier. And my memory serves, this is quite hop-forward, but proof is in the pudding. So let's see if my palate is stupid, and I will correct myself before I wreck myself. So yeah, that, my friends, looks like a Russian Imperial Stout. Gave that sucker a hard pour. It's gonna go over. Come on, come on! Wow! Threw that sucker in there like I was throwing a freaking, I don't know what would be a good analogy there. I don't know. I was throwing it like something from something leaves nothing. Motherfucker punch you in the mouth. Anyway, my friends, that is a gigantic, gigantic head because I poured it like a douchebag. 5 fingers worth. Nice color to it. Like it's just a hair darker from my Russian Imperials, but it's got a nice coffee colored head to it. Super creamy top. And bizarrely uniform smaller to medium bubbles, like all around. It's kind of creepy. Yeah, but it looks the part. If I hold up in some light, I can't even, I gleam just a little bit of light through it. It's the atypical, infinitely uber dark, rich mahogany in color. So yeah, I'm not going to be able to get a nose on this, but we'll try. Let's see. Nice roasted malt. But there is that kind of that East Coast pine hop. I was going to say West Coast. Yeah, there's like a nice roasted malt to it, but at the same time, that piney hop note is there. So my memory's starting to jog. Starting to remember what the sucker tastes like. Well, that's all the nose I'm going to be able to get out of this because of the douchebag pour I gave it. So I'm just going to try to fight through this head and see what she has in the mouth. Cheers. My memory is correct. It's not super duper hop forward, but it's enough to make it, for me, just not what a Russian Imperial Stout is supposed to be, you know? I mean, if you take, for me, the 2 quintessential Russian Imperial Stouts, those would be Courage Russian Imperial Stout, which is the OG Russian Imperial Stout, and Destruce's Black Albert. Those are my personal two Russian Imperial Stout leaders in the clubhouse, and this is just way more hop forward than those two are. Mouth feels nice, not super dense though, and your atypical, culprits, not culprits, but tastes are there. You're getting but it's not huge though. It's so overpowered by that bitterness. That bitter hop overpowers everything. You want that rich, dark chocolate. You can even have chocolate, but roasted malts. Little bit of coffee. Even a little bit of chocolate. Like I said, like you want those things in your Russian Imperial Stout. And while this has it, they're not even like secondary or third players. They're like, one-liner casts back in the room, just yammering, talking to each other. It's like hop forward bitterness through the whole thing too, from beginning to end. A little bit of sweetness right in the first jump. Hot, bitter, middle, drying, bitter finish. So yeah, I mean, I was kind of weird. You always want to be right. Everybody wants to be right. Me more than anybody. I'm an asshole pretty much when it comes to anything in life. But you always want to be right. And through all my Russian Imperial Stout reviews, I actually mentioned North Coast Old Rasputin quite a bit, basing it off that. I like Russian Imperials that are not hop forward, I like Russian Imperials that are not hop forward as opposed to ones that are. And I say like North Coast Old Rasputin, and it was kind of a weird one. I was like picking up. I should review this. I'm like, well, if I review it and I don't remember it right, I'm gonna sound like an idiot. But hey, I don't mind if I sound like an idiot because I always sound like an idiot. But overall, not my favorite Russian Imperial Stout. That being said, it's not a bad beer. That's for sure. I know I don't rate in style. I rate how much I like stuff. As far as rating wise for this beer, I would give it an 83. 83 overall. If you could dial up the roasted malts and bring a little chocolate and coffee along with that and dial back that hot bitterness, it'd be a better beer for me. Again, beer is subjective, so there you go. So, what did I say? 83 overall. Value and availability. I picked it up as a single, so I think I paid $3 for it. But you're talking about $12 for a 4-pack. I think they come in 4-packs. Not the worst beer in the world, value-wise, especially at its ABV. But since it doesn't float my boat that much, value-wise, I give it like a 6. And availability, I'll give it a 9 because I can find it anywhere. So there you go. 83 overall. Availability great. Value for me, not that great. And another review in the books. I mean, you guys, if you like Russian Imperials or stouts with a bit of hop forwardness, especially like more of a East Coast piney style hop, it'd be for you. It's just not for me what I look for in a Russian Imperial Stout. So there you go. Now another review in the books. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the review. If you did or you didn't or somewhere in between, please leave a comment in the comment section below. If you check us out anywhere else on the internet, you can. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Untapped. Massive beers in all 4 of those places. And yeah, another review down. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the review. Hopefully you're enjoying a nice Russian Imperial Stout right now. And hopefully see you next time. Cheers.